So basically, Dr. Bimal Kumar is a library professional working with the Mahatma Gandhi University, Kottayam District, Kerala State, India. He show he shows interest on observing. He shows interest in observing changes in shortly communications, open access, and the free software movement. His Koha Geek blog, kohageekblogspot.in, is the popular among the library professional. He was the live DVD manager for the Koha version 3.12 project. He has earned a bachelor degree in communicative English from Mahatma Gandhi University, a master degree in library information science from University of Kerala, and PG diploma in computer applications and UGC NET. He has finished his PhD in library information science from the Mahatma Gandhi University. He has written about the free software for several publications. His account contains 12 journal articles, 8 books, 8 books edited, and 8 books chapters, and 40 conference papers. So humbly, I request our resource person, Dr. Bimal Kumar, kindly proceed. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. My screen is visible. I hope that visible to all, and my audio is okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Anyway, today we start with Koha. Today we will learn about what are the preparations from our side to implement Koha. Then we will a few more. We will give some more importance to how to install Koha on cloud, because these days cloud is very popular. No need to install Koha on a physical machine, physical computer. Okay. Then we have prepared a cloud-based Koha instance for your learning purpose, practical learning purpose. Today we learn about what are the prerequisites for Koha installation, the basic concept of free and open source software, then hardware requirements, what are the skill sets required for Koha maintenance, what are the skill sets expect from the library professional, then Koha release schedule, type of Koha implementation, methods of Koha installation, these things we will cover. May I know any Koha users here? All are using Koha in the
No, sir.
library? No.
No,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, no problem. Then all are, how many students here and how many library working professionals here?
Library professional, Rupali.
Okay.
Library, Dr. A.K. Kavita.
Okay.
Myself, Ramya, librarian, school librarian, sir.
Okay. Which software using in your library?
Sir, GJ Infotech.
Okay. Okay, we can start with the presentation. See, first we have to learn why we use free or open source software to
Yeah.
um, install Koha. The main reason is that um, the proprietary software, Windows is a proprietary open operating system, and it's very costly. So we have to use Linux based operating system, and we think that Windows is free because when we purchase a system, the salesperson, the firm supply the computer, they install Windows in it. We think that it's free, but the main reason is that they install the pirated copy or pirated version or hacked version of the Windows operating system in the PC. See the price of Windows operating system. Windows 10 Pro, about 16,000 rupees charge for the single license. Windows 10 Home, Windows has many editions, Home Edition, Professional Edition, Office Edition. Windows 10 Home, 10,000 rupees we have to pay. The high this price we cannot afford it. We are not ready to uh, purchase the licensed version of Windows. Another drawbacks with Windows is that Windows is very heavy and it needed too much, I mean, enough size of hardware. For example, it need 8 GB minimum RAM, and we need a good storage, and we need a good speed processor. And some other inconvenience with the Windows is that without our permission, they will install the update. We have noticed that when we close the system, it says that don't close now. We are going to update the system. It takes time. Okay, without our permission, they will install the update. Um, Actually, if you purchase a Windows license, we are not the owner of the Windows operating system. We are just a user. Actually, the ownership with Microsoft Corporation. Actually, they deny the uh, freedom of using Windows by the common user. Then main difference between the culture of using proprietary software and open source software is that open source software give you a learning culture. If we start to use it, we will learn. We have to learn a lot of things, and we have some tendency to learn new things. We have to learn ourselves. That's a culture of learning. But in the case of Windows, nothing to learn, everything is very easy. People become lazy. Then another thing is Linux will give you the ultimate access to the administrative user or root user. But Windows, we cannot become a root user or administrator. We are just mere users. That's the main difference with the Linux and Windows. We can do anything. We cannot anything change on Windows, but in Linux we can do anything with Linux. We can access the administrative power, and we can do anything. We can change anything on Linux operating system. And one more thing, another question is everybody says that Linux operating system. Actually, Linux is not an operating system, it's a name of a kernel. Kernel means we can say that it's the heart of an operating system. Windows has their own kernel, Ubuntu has their own kernel, Debian Linux has their own kernel. Actually, the name Linux is the kernel of an operating system. The Linux kernel we can find in many Linux-based operating system. What's the purpose of kernel? Kernel purpose is that it handle everything, it manage everything. For example, you are working with an operating system, watching a movie. If you want to increase the volume, you can increase the volume button. It give a instruction to the kernel to increase the volume to the stereo. Suppose you click on print button to print something, a document. When we click on print button, it send a signal to the kernel, and the kernel send a signal to the printer to give a printout. That's the purpose of operating system kernel. It handles everything, manage everything. It controls the hardware. It controls the operating system graphical interface. It controls the application software. That's the purpose of Linux. Um, Actually, Linux is a kernel name. The Linux story start from 1985. Richard Stallman and a team, uh, they started a project. Their aim was to develop an operating system. a Unix-like operating system. Unix at that time very popular operating system that was proprietary one. Bell Laboratory, that's the owner name of Unix. They started the project, but an operating system is same like a car. It contains many components: engine, chassis, tire, then carburetor. Many components uh, put in a single thing. After assembling, it become a car. Same like an operating system contains too many components. Okay, it contains kernel, desktop, and other components. But Richard Stallman and team could develop everything um, to build an operating system, but they failed. They failed to develop a kernel. Okay, their project's name is called GNU Linux. Okay, then actually their project is called GNU, not Unix. That's a full name. In 1991, Linus Torvald, student of computer science, he created a kernel for an operating system, but and he released the source code of the kernel into internet. Source code means same like a recipe, a dish recipe. How to prepare the instructions, how to prepare a recipe. He released the source code in internet, and others to allow to use the kernel. And many people use this kernel and made use the components of GNU, and they started to use it, crossing both GNU components and Linux kernel. So many operating system came that's called GNU Linux operating system. Okay. See, such very old operating system is Debian. Debian released in 1993. It contains Linux kernel and many parts of GNU operating system. And 1996, Tux Linux, that's another operating system. Then 1999, Red Hat Linux, another operating system. Then Ubuntu 2004. After the development of Ubuntu, it became very popular among common people. Before that, Linux was very popular among developers and networking people. It was not friendly, that's not suitable for use in home and office. But 2004, Ubuntu Linux introduced that mainly developed focusing on common users' needs. Ubuntu became very popular, and we know that Ubuntu used everywhere. Okay, this is the story of Linux operating based operating systems. In 2018, an operating system for smartphones developed. This operating system called Android. The Android made use the same Linux kernel. Okay. Then many developments going on. This is the story of Linux-based operating system. Actually, Linux is not an operating system. The initiative started in 1985 by Richard Stallman and team. 1991, kernel Linux kernel introduced. Both GNU components and Linux kernel combined into a single operating system. Many thousands of Linux-based operating system projects are available now. Ubuntu, Debian, Red Hat, SUSE, many Linux-based operating systems are available. Then we will check what's the difference between open source and free software. People use it synonymously. People think that both the terms are same. Both the term denotes the same freely available software, but in reality is that both terms are not same, but we may seem same, but it has some their own difference. We will check what's the difference between open source and free software. See, free software movement start early, actually it's a political philosophy. Their main aim is that develop software for the society, make available free software without any restrictions. But open source movement is started by Eric Raymond. Their main aim is that it's a development technique. The logic behind that, uh, for the development of a software, we need a lot of human power, resources, and money to invest. We have to suppose we have a project, for example, Koha. No, lot of programmers, lot of document writers, and many people needed. We have to hire them, we have to pay them. We need a lot of money to invest in that. But open source software, their main aim is that the development in online mode and allow others to work with the software, and one version of the software free, other version of the software will not be free, will be proprietary. Uh, that source code will be available public. Others can use it, change it, and the people can join with the development. Uh, the community edition will be free. A proprietary edition will also be there that has to be paid. Their main aim is that make use others help to develop the software. Okay, that's the main difference between open source and a free software. One is a social philosophy, political philosophy. One is a development technique. So both are different, but both develop initiative working for freely available software. I will tell you an example how this open source and free software different. See here, we are familiar with the Chrome browser and browser. Actually, it's a open source software. It licensed under an open source license called Apache license. It's a permissive license. Permissive means others can uh, use the source code, and they can make a proprietary software from that source code. See here, actually, the community edition of Chrome software is called Chromium. That is open source one, and Google is uh, Google started this project. Their aim is that build a browser. Chromium is the open source edition. It's free, but they have made use the same source code of Chromium and build another product called Chrome that is proprietary. What's the difference between Chrome and Chromium? One is entirely free. Both are freely available. One is open source one, community edition. Another is proprietary edition. Uh, that's free, but it's not its proprietary one. Source code they will not reveal. Uh, they have some added some modification on the Chrome software, some beautifications, some extra features they have added. That's the difference. One is open source, one is proprietary. Their aim was to build a browser with the help of community help. The same source code they made use to develop a proprietary software. Why we need to learn Linux based operating system? um, Actually, library professionals and libraries start to use this Linux based operating system to install uh, library management systems. See, many open source library management systems arrived in 2000, and they run on Linux based operating system. The main aim is that to decrease the total cost ownership, decrease the they made use some open source components to run the software. For example, Koha run on MySQL database, Apache web server, Zebra search engine. These components are free software or open source software, no cost required. Okay, the main reason is that it's a zero cost software acquisition. No need to buy anything. At the same time, suppose if you want to use Zoll software, they use proprietary components like Windows operating system, uh, then MS SQL, that's also priced, and many components we have to use proprietary. See, these open source software built on other open source software, so zero cost. This software suitable for personal and enterprise use. For example, Linux-based operating system Ubuntu. It's a desktop edition. That is, we can install it on laptop and desktop. We can use it in school, office, home for common computer applications. At the same time, we can use they have some server edition. We can use the same in server, 24-hour running server, web server, Koha server. We can use it for that purpose. And it's more stable. Stable means its development is very fast. More people associated with the development, so frequent updates will be available. More features will come day by day, and more stability. Suppose something wrong happens, suppose a bug, an error happen, anything wrong happen, they will fix it very soon. And these things uh, come come to the mind of attention of the developers. It will They will fix it very soon. Then one more thing, Linux-based operating systems are very friendly to hardware. It does not consume too much hardware. I mean, it can work with a computer with 4 GB RAM and a low-profile processor like Intel or Pentium processor. Then why Koha is very popular? It's a comprehensive ILS. Comprehensive means we can find uh, features and functions suitable for a library. We can start with the Koha without any modifications. All of the features available in Koha. Then we can make use it as a digital library, not like DSpace. We can make use it for store digital objects like a PDF file and uh, other objects in various formats. Then content management system, we can use it as a content management system. For example, we can create pages, and we can convert online catalog as a website, library website. And the more integration options it means, suppose we want to, if we want to use RFID, the provision is there. We can easily integrate RFID devices into Koha. We can, without any changes, it can accept other technologies and devices into Koha. Different kinds of implements, Koha implementation available, depends on the various context in the various libraries. Uh, See, three Koha implementation, various contexts. For example, one is Koha installation from scratch. That means, suppose a library has no software, and they have a good collection of books. They have no choice. They can install Koha, start from scratch. That's the first instance. Second is upgrade from a very old version of Koha to latest one. Maybe Koha installed 5 or 6 years back, very old version Koha, but they think that they are not. I mean, they didn't update it to the latest version. In that case, we have to take the backup of Koha, then we have to install operating system fresh, then install Koha and restore the backup to new Koha. Third instance is migration from a legacy automation software to Koha. Suppose your library using Alice or Windows, Zoll, we have to export data from this software to Koha. See the three instances. One is, so no software available, we can start Koha from scratch. Second is upgrade from very old version of Koha to the latest. The reason is that Koha, they have a update day by day. 10 years Koha has some a lot of changes. The latest uh, changes from the latest version. That's also difficult from very old version of Koha to the latest version. Then Koha support. Suppose we install Koha, suppose an error happens, suppose we need some help wanted, who will help us? One is community support that usually comes with any open source or free software. Suppose we want to install the software, we get the installation manual from their documentation. Suppose we visit their website, we will get the direction how to install the software into your library. Then a discussion forums available. Suppose some doubts regarding installation or migration, you can put a post in the discussion forums. Others will answer you. That is community support. That is free. Not need to give anything, any money or any financial monetary things. Second is commercial support. Main reason is that librarians are not technical persons, system administrators. They are very busy with the with the work. In such instance, such context, we have to approach someone to install and maintain Koha, and we have to pay for them to get the service. They will help you to migrate your old software to Koha. See, what are the technical requirements to install Koha? The initial thing is we need an operating system. The Koha developers prefer either Debian or Ubuntu. Actually, Debian is a very old Linux-based operating system. This is very popular among Linux users, but in India, Debian, I mean, Red Hat is very popular, Red Hat Linux, and Fedora Linux is very popular. Um, uh, Debian is open source one. Um, eh, this Debian Linux-based operating system very popular among network administrators and the system people. The Ubuntu based Linux actually derived or developed from Debian. The mother OS of Ubuntu is Debian. Both architecture are the same, but we can use both Debian and Ubuntu for Koha installation. We will see in detail how we work with Ubuntu. The second thing is we need a database management system. We have to store different kinds of data regarding the software. For example, book details has to store, then user details has to store, transaction details has to store. For storing these things, we need a RDBMS, Relational Database Management System, MariaDB or MySQL they prefer. What is MariaDB? Actually, earlier MySQL was the RDBMS. Very recently, that was a community project, open source one. This project acquired by Oracle, and open source community feared that Oracle will uh, gulp the entire MySQL project. They started a new project using MySQL code that is called MariaDB. Then third one is Apache Web Server. The purpose of web server is that serve web pages. That's a tool or software make available web pages serve to other computer. It means Koha works like a website. It web based. So Apache Web Server is needed. Apache is a web server software mainly using by hosting website. Koha is a web-based software, looks like a website. So Apache using. Next is Perl. Perl is a programming language. Koha using Perl to write the source code. The third one is we have heard about other programming languages like Java, PHP, Python. Same like Perl is a very old programming language. Then last one is Zebra, Zebra or Elasticsearch. It's a search engine. Search engine means suppose someone searching for a book, we give the keyword Kerala. It this search query the search engine will uh, index the terms metadata. Suppose someone searching for Kerala related book. This search engine purpose is that dig and came with the result. The default search engine is Zebra. It's an open source one. But Elasticsearch is also available. We can opt Elasticsearch. Elasticsearch is better than Zebra. We have familiar with the Zolar search engine. Solar search engine using DSpace Digital Library. It seems like Solar search engine. Elasticsearch is very capable, and it can search full text. Full text means we put a PDF file, article file in DSpace. It will index the entire document and create the index. If we give a keyword, if it available in the text, it will give the result. Okay, Koha available comes with two search engines, Zebra and Elasticsearch. One at a time we can use one. The default one is Zebra. If you want to use it, Elasticsearch also use. And another component with the Koha is the Koha plugin. Koha now very big software project. Lot of features and functions there. Some third-party developed features is called Koha plugins. That will not come with the main part of Koha. If we want it, we can add that plugin or particular feature into Koha. That is called plugins. That's a standalone program we can install with the Koha. After the installation of Koha, it will work along with the Koha. There is a website which contains thousands of hundreds of plugins. For example, I will show you an example. Coverflow is a plugin which display newly arrived books cover in a moving fashion. Okay, that's plugin developed by Bywater Solution, a Koha service company from America. If you want to, if you install with Koha, and we can add that feature in opaque, it will display newly added books cover on the Koha web page. That's the purpose of plugin. Then many people ask about doubt regarding Koha can install it on Windows. Actually, Koha cannot install it on Windows. It can work only with either Ubuntu or Debian. The main reason is that developers prefer to work on Debian or uh, other Linux-based operating system. They can provide it free of cost, and the user can implement it without any cost. They have more control on Linux-based operating system. And this Linux-based operating system is suitable to host web applications, suitable to install it on server. And one more thing is difficult to run virus or malware on Unix-based or Linux-based system. But Windows, we have heard about lot of virus attack. Many majority of viruses actually developed for Windows. Very difficult to protect Windows from virus attack. So many open source projects use Linux-based operating system. Then, as a librarians, we are not technical people. Suppose we want to install and maintain Koha alone. Otherwise, if you want to implement Koha with the help of another person, what are the skill set required? What are the skill set required to implement Koha? First, we have to acquire some skill set on Linux-based operating system. We have to learn Linux basics. For example, we have to know about how to apply command, how to run a command, how to stop a particular service. For example, how to stop Apache, how to stop database. These things we have to know about. Then database basics. For example, Koha using MariaDB, we have to know how to create a database, how to take a backup of the data, how to restore this data into a newly installed system. Then we have to familiar with the computer networking. The reason is that Koha is a web-based. Suppose we install it in a computer, we have to make available on the local network. For example, campus network. OPAC has to reach everywhere in the campus. we have to make available Koha everywhere in the campus. And suppose we want to install it on cloud and cloud server, we have to familiar with the networking. Then keep in touch with the latest updates. That means a lot of people working with Koha, lot of developments is going on. New features and functions are adding to the latest versions. Very active. The project is very active, and we have to know what are the things going on there and what are the new features available with the newly released version. Then some copy and paste skills. Why we want to learn familiar with copy and paste skills means, suppose we a lot of Linux commands available to do various things. Don't need to uh, by heart all these commands. Suppose we searching for a particular problem with Linux or Koha, and we got a solution. It says that apply this command. We can just copy the instruction and paste it on Linux, and we can execute it. For that purpose, copy paste skill is necessary. Then finally, lot of curiosity means uh, this scene is changing very fast, and we have to need a lot of curiosity to learn these things. Otherwise we cannot do it alone, or we cannot aware about it, we cannot apply it. Okay, we need curiosity, and for example, no need to become a computer programmer to associate with this project. As a layman, you can work with the project. Suppose you can participate in the translation project. You can learn these things from scratch. Lot of tutorials available. These things have possible only with the curiosity. See, what are the Linux basics we have to learn? For example, how to open files using text editor. Not like Windows. To open a file and make some changes, we have to apply a particular command. Then copy and move files and folder from one place to another place. One place to another place means one folder to another folder. That's very necessary while install whatever may be the software. That's very necessary. We have to familiar with that. Copy a file from one place to another place. Then cron job, that's a service means scheduling jobs is very helpful. For example, you can assign a command, schedule a command to take the backup of Koha database every 8 p.m. and 7:45 your library will close. 8 p.m. Give an instruction to take the backup and put it in a particular place. Every we can assign that instruction in the system. Every same day, same time, every day, same time. This command will work, and it will take the backup and copy it in the system. Otherwise, it will move it into cloud storage. That is cron job. Next is file permission. Permission means in Linux, permission is very important. For a particular file or folder, it need permission to work. A particular user account has necessary permission to make changes in that file. To make changes, it has their own command. Then Debian or Ubuntu basics. Debian or Ubuntu both are more or less same operating system, Linux-based operating system. Apart from Linux basic, learn to know, learn to know about the Ubuntu basics. For example, suppose we want to install a particular application. Debian and Ubuntu, there has their own unique way to install it. Apply a different command. It use another thing called sudo. We have to learn these things. Then it use a package management system called apt, advanced package tools. For example, in Windows, suppose we want to install a software, we have to, for example, VLC player to run music and movies. Go to the website and download the exe file. Exe is the format of the binary file. Double click on it, it will work. Same like in Ubuntu and Debian, they have their own way of install a new package. Suppose we want to install some any desk or some other remote desktop access software. we have to install manually. We have to learn these things. Then database management. He create and delete database backup and restore, uh, manage database using command. Suppose we have to delete some data, then manage database using PHP MyAdmin is a graphical interface which help to ease the work of database administration. I will show you how PHP MyAdmin work. Then familiarity with the SQL query. SQL query means it's a language to interact with the database, to create a report. For example, list of entire books. Okay, we prepare a query. It collect these details from the database and arrange it in a single report. What are the mistakes from librarian's side while dealing with Koha or any other operating system? Our main problem with libraries is that no regular update with the latest developments. They are busy with the library activities, and they are not, they have no time to visit discussion forums, their website, to get the latest knowledge regarding the movements, newly arrived things. And minimal or no participation communities. Koha has their own community. Like Koha, other operating systems, open source application has their own community. And libraries are reluctant to use old modules with Koha. Koha contains acquisition, circulation, serial, periodical module, then report module, many modules there. And most of the libraries using Koha does not using acquisition and serials module, but because they wish to use this module in manual, these activities in manual method for the convenience of auditing. Okay. Then if a software they use, they also maintain both manual method and a software method. For example, circulation, they also use maintain book card and a old method of issue book. At the same time, they also use software. Both the if they follow both the method, to take too much time, and it does not save the time of the user. And we are not familiar with Linux operating system. The reason is that we are familiar with the Windows and other things. Suppose we install Koha, a lot of passwords. For example, Ubuntu has a username and password. MySQL has a root password. MySQL database for Koha is their own password, and it's so many passwords. And these passwords will confuse us. Anyway, if we start to work, if we would like to work with the open source software like Koha, we have to ready to accept changes and we have to keep in touch with the latest developments. Anyway, change is the main factor in these open source and free software community. A lot of things, the changes are very fast. We have to accept these things. I will tell you some recent changes, and it made some big blow impact on the users. See here, no login using DB username and password onwards. Koha version 18.05. Before that version, users could log in Koha using database username and password, and users tried to log in database username and password, and they didn't created a staff user and account to manage Koha. Okay, they after 18.05, with the 18.05, actually they blocked that feature and then only enter into Koha using a staff user ID and password. They upgraded, many people upgraded to 18.05. They could not log in using old database username and password. That's a main one example. Second is change from MySQL to MariaDB. Koha prefer MariaDB to install Koha. Actually, no difference in MySQL and MariaDB, but they prefer MariaDB instead of MySQL. One more thing is Google turning off less secure app access to G Suite account. It meaning is that many Koha users send notices for overdue notices through email using Gmail account. But Gmail, actually they add the username and password of Gmail into Koha. It will generate a report, I mean notice, and send it by email. But Google turned their policy off, and they introduced one more thing: secure, less secure app access and two-factor authentication. After that, this feature does not work, and the people confuse why my email does not go to the users. The reason is that they have turned off the policy and they introduced a new mechanism called two-factor authentication to send add Gmail to bulk email sending. See, next thing is how to select suitable Linux distribution for Koha installation. And this is a very confused thing for library professionals and even system administrators. Not many, but people not aware, I mean, familiar with the Koha, no, that's not familiar with the Koha. uh, we have to know about what is the suitable Linux operating system to install Koha. Anyway, developers suggest to use both Debian and Ubuntu. More people prefer Debian than Ubuntu because Debian is uh, very popular among sysadmin and techie people. Ubuntu is also popular, but they prefer Debian. But both has server suitable for install it on server. We can install it on physical server, and we can install it on cloud server. See, for example, in India, Red Hat, CentOS, Fedora, these Linux-based operating systems very popular, but we cannot install Koha on this operating system. It does not support the architecture of this operating system and the packages management system of this operating system. The next thing is many libraries use desktop computer to install uh, Koha, and we need a Linux-based operating system with a graphical interface, and we have to choose an ideal or lightweight uh, desktop software for your Ubuntu or Debian. We will see in detail what's the importance of desktop software with the Linux. Then choose a supported version. What Ubuntu or Debian, they release every 2 year a stable version, and Koha installation will say that this particular versions we have to install it on which version of Debian or Ubuntu. If we install it on older version, Koha will not work. Anyway, check installation manual before install Koha and read it, and check that which version of Debian or Ubuntu suitable to install Koha. They will mention that which version of Debian or Ubuntu will support Koha. See their screenshot: Debian 10, 9, 8, and 11 also support the latest version, the previous version. Then Ubuntu 22, 20.04, 18.04, 16.04, its life is almost over. They will mention that which version we have to use. Select suitable Linux desktop. What's the role of Linux desktop while we use Koha? But Linux desktop give graphical interface for computer operating system. See different kinds of desktops are available with the operating system. Genome, KDE, Cinnamon. I will tell the detail features of this desktop, and we can choose a lightweight Linux desktop. Lightweight means it does not, while running, it does not consume too much processing power. If it use a heavy or resource hungry desktop, system will be slow. And many Ubuntu, it called flavor. Flavor means different kinds of Ubuntu. It means Ubuntu with a different desktop. It has their own project: Xubuntu, Lubuntu, Kubuntu. It means Xubuntu means uh, Ubuntu comes with a XFSC desktop. Lubuntu means Ubuntu comes with a LXD desktop. We will see in detail what the difference. See, this is the familiar Ubuntu desktop, a purple color desktop. It comes with the Genome desktop. Genome, its name is Genome. It's a project. Actually, Ubuntu borrow this desktop to uh, Ubuntu operating system. So it looks this purple color, but it's a beautiful and very friendly for beginners. But it's a hardware hungry desktop. It need minimum 4 GB RAM, 2 gigahertz dual core processor. This one, what will happen? Suppose we have a low profile computer, low powered computer, and we install it on a resource hungry uh, Ubuntu on your poor computer. It cannot hang, it cannot hold the entire weight of the operating system. System will be slow. See, another desktop, a lightweight desktop Ubuntu flavor is called X Ubuntu. Ubuntu comes with the XFSC desktop. It requires only 1 GB RAM. Uh, these these Ubuntu flavors are, it's called flavors. Different website. For example, if you want to download Xubuntu, you have to visit xubuntu.org website. If you want to install Ubuntu with the Genome, you have to go to ubuntu.com website. Then next is hardware selection for Koha. What are the things we have to uh, what are the things we have to remember, we have to care while choose hardware for Koha installation? One is the number of records. The prime thing is number of records, user number, and the transaction. For example, if you have 2 lakhs records and 1,000 or 2,000 users and a daily 500 issue return of books, you have to select a computer handle such kind of transactions and traffic. Then we have to select different kinds of hardware type. For example, desktop computer available, workstation PC available, server computer available, cloud server available. And based on our purpose and our context, we have to choose appropriate hardware. Then we have to select the hardware and accessories suitable to work with Debian or Ubuntu. For example, we want to buy a laser printer to print barcode label or QR code label, barcode label. We have to choose a printer. It can work with Debian or Ubuntu. Suppose a printer does not work with the Ubuntu, is useless. If we want to buy a printer work with Koha, we have to surely inquire about whether this work with Ubuntu. And we can check in the product details whether it works with the Ubuntu. They will mention it. Otherwise, it works with Windows only. Then next is how to prepare a specification to purchase a hardware. Anyway, these library professionals are very backward in preparing very minute level configuration for uh, system specification for Koha computer. We have to write in detail what kind of processor we need. For example, we have about 50,000 records, and we have no plan to run a server. We need a normal PC. We can write a specification for Intel Core i5 processor, and we have to specifically mention the clock speed, processor speed. Core i5 is the serious name of Intel processor, and it available with the various speed 3.7, 4.8, 4.2, and the price also varies. Then what type of RAM we need? For example, 8 GB RAM, 60 GB RAM. The latest version of Linux and Koha require lot of memory. So we have to choose minimum 8 GB RAM. Otherwise, we can increase up to 60 GB RAM. Then what kind of memory storage type? uh, SSD storage we need, or HDD storage we need, otherwise NVMe storage we need. We have to specifically mention about we need, for example, 500 GB SSD storage, we have to mention it. And we have to mention whether Linux preloaded with the computer. And suppose no operating system preloaded with the computer, we can mention free DOS. They will supply computer without any operating system. If we not mention free DOS, they will supply computer with the Windows. They think that they need a Windows. We have to pay some money for the Windows preloaded. For example, 8,000 rupees we have to pay to the Windows available with the PC. See, next thing is, um, what kind of storage we need. Nowadays lot of storage available. We are familiar with the HDD storage. This is a traditional storage. This is very slow, it makes the system slow. This one is SSD storage, little faster than SSD storage, and NVMe storage is very faster than both these storages. So we can specify NVMe storage these days. It's very fast. It make your system very fast. See the difference. Read and write speed is very slow with the HDD, very fast with the NVMe. Price is low, but price is decreasing also. But if you consider speed, price is not a matter. Maximum capacity, high. Okay. We can see what's the price of these storages. Just check in Flipkart or Amazon. See NVMe M.2 500 GB storage, the price check. This looks like a scale. 500 GB storage. How much the storage? 500 GB, about 2,400, 500 rupees. Earlier it was very high, but recently its price is decreased. And HDD storage, check. Only 879 price, but speed is very less. One more storage is available, SSD storage, SSD SATA. See, 500 GB, various price available, 4,000 rupees. Okay, 2,000, 3,000 rupees. Okay, we will see in detail what's the difference. Its performance is very different. So we can, if we buy NVMe storage, too much fast to make the system too much fast. When we purchase laptop, latest laptop, it comes with the NVMe storage. For example, when we start the system, within seconds operating system will load. In earlier HDD storage, it will take time. What's the difference between these NVMe and SSD storage? Only difference is its slot. See, NVMe storage use M.2 socket and SSD storage use SATA. Okay, this is familiar, but speed with this M.2 socket is very fast. SATA is very less. Writing speed is 600 MB per second with the SSD, but NVMe 4000 MB per second. That difference. See this NVMe storage, we put it on M.2 slot available with the motherboard. That's the difference. You can check it in web how it works. We can take a break for 10 minutes. We can return at uh, 8:20. Okay, 10 minutes break. Sorry, 8:15 we can return. 10 minutes break, 8:15. Okay. And see here, where your server should be located. That means the location. Suppose your users are from India, you can choose the server from Bangalore. They have a server in Bangalore. That means that will be more speed in India. Suppose your users from other countries, suppose maybe from London, UK, you can choose server from other country. Okay, suppose my users are mainly from India, I can choose the server location Bangalore. This machine located in Bangalore. More with uh, more speed it will load. Then next is which operating system you need. Here Ubuntu, Debian is available, CentOS is available, Fedora available. You can choose Ubuntu for our purpose. Koha support both Debian and Ubuntu. If you are familiar with Ubuntu, choose the operating system Ubuntu. Then choose the version. Different versions are available. Suppose Koha works with well with 22.04, use 22.04. The coming version is 22 sorry 24.04 that will release in 2024 April. This is the current latest version 22.04. The previous version is 20.04. Okay, click on 22.04. Then next is what kind of droplet type. Basic plan, that's very basic machine, general purpose, CPU optimized. That means we can also choose what kind of storage we need. Okay, anyway, basic plan is needed. If we want more power or we have to add more optimization, later we can increase. For example, uh, now we have selected 5 GB storage. In near future, you want 100 GB, you can increase the storage without changing anything. Okay, basic plan. Then choose what kind of storage. See, SSD storage and NVMe storage available. If I choose SSD storage, price also different. NVMe $32 per month, SSD $24 per month. SSD is enough, but if you want more speed, you can choose NVMe. Then different machine, I mean storage type. See here, 1 GB CPU, 1 GB memory, 5 GB storage, $6 per month. $6 means 500 rupees per month. But this is not enough. 1 GB storage is not enough. For running a personal website, this is enough. 1 GB storage memory is enough. You need comparatively good Koha machine. 4 GB storage is needed. $24 per month. 0.36 per hour. Then additional storage you want, you can add. Then next is you can choose a password to log in to the machine. You can choose a password, and finally you can build the machine. Build the machine. Your machine will be ready. First is uh, click on Droplet, which cloud server we are going to build. Then location of the server is Bangalore. Then operating system we choose Ubuntu version 22.04. Then storage type SSD NVMe available. Then various memory and other things we can choose. For smooth working of depends upon your storage and other things, you can choose uh, other factors like uh, RAM and other things. Then you can build the machine. Okay, price is also available here. Okay, I am going to not going to click on it. I will, after create the machine, your machine will be here. If you want to start the machine is running, you want to access the machine, click on access console. Access console means a command prompt will come, same like a terminal, Linux terminal. See droplet console. See, we can start to apply commands here. Suppose we want to install Koha, we can apply the commands one by one. Okay, using this console, we can access the machine. This is server edition, no graphical interface, no desktop. Okay, server machine has no graphic desktop like this. They have only a command terminal here. Okay, if you want to update the system, type the command sudo apt update. After the installation of the system, we have to update the system. You will search in the repository and check for the update. Same like we can apply other commands, sudo apt upgrade. No updates available. Yesterday I have updated. This way we can create virtual machines in cloud and access it. Uh, Now more its price is more affordable. Virtual machine price is more affordable, easy to create. But one difficulty is that for government system, they will not accept the payment method of existing services. Like they have no provision to add credit card directly and purchase this cloud system. These institutions under government control, they have to purchase the cloud through a third party vendor using bid and quotations. For trial purpose, you can go to DigitalOcean website, add your credit card or debit card. I think credit card they only accept. Then you can start a trial for few days. They will not charge anything. After trial, you can remove your account. They will not charge anything. Otherwise, you can create a website from here using WordPress. Okay, this way create a virtual machine for cloud server in cloud instance. See, Koha, we have to familiar with the Koha release schedule. Um, 2 times in a year, they release a new version in May and in November. Uh, its name based on the release date. For example, month 23/11 released in the latest version, November 2023. 23.11 is the latest version. The previous version, 23.05. Each month they have a update, release update. So it's called 23.04.05.05. It's the fifth update. Okay. Visit Koha-community website for release announcements. We can get latest news on the latest release of Koha. See, they have a different kinds of versions. One is stable version, that's the latest one. 23.11 is the latest release. Old stable means the previous version, 23.05 previous version. For production purpose, we have to choose old stable version 23.05. Latest version, very new one and may contain some bugs. So choose the previous version. It has many monthly updates, so easy to work with. And don't use the latest version for production purpose. Then old stable. I mean, two versions back, 22.11. That will be more stable because lot of updates available, monthly updates, and many bugs resolved these days. Then testing version, unstable version. Okay, these are the various versions available. We can, while installation, we can specify which version we have to install. See, what are things we have to care while in Koha installation steps? See, Koha updates frequently and adds timely changes to the installation instructions. Uh, we have to first we have to consult with the official installation manual in their website. I will show you. For example, you want to install Koha on Ubuntu. Koha on Ubuntu. This is the official installation manual. Click on. See, it says that Ubuntu 16.04 support will reach end of life with the Koha versions. Very old, obsoleted. Ubuntu 14.04 obsolete, don't install it. Then very detailed manual there. If they also says that how to install stable version. These are the repository information first we have to add. Here mention stable version. Otherwise, we can mention uh, a particular version number. For example, instead of stable, we can mention 23.11. See, we can mention here 23.05 old stable. We can mention that which version we want to install. Then suppose you want to curious to try Koha installation, don't try it on your working machine. Find a spare machine, other machine for testing purpose. Don't try to install Ubuntu or Koha on the existing system. As a beginner, may find some fault. It lost your, I mean, damage your existing system. Otherwise, you can use a virtual box. in your existing Windows machine to try this Ubuntu and Koha. VirtualBox is a software. It allows to install virtual uh, installation setup inside another operating system. Then methods of installation, three kinds of method is available. This method is very easy, install using Debian or Ubuntu packages. Second is Git. Git means it's a version control system. We can install it from source code. Otherwise is Tarball. Tarball means uh, the software available in compressed mode. We can download and install it. This one is easy. Install using Debian or Ubuntu packages. Ubuntu packages means Debian and Ubuntu has some software repository which contain all supported software. Koha has a repository. We can directly install it from the software repository. Then update Koha regularly. Suppose we install Koha, we have to update monthly updates. Specific commands available to update to the latest version. Then also update the operating system. It also receive frequent updates, and each updates will resolve bug fixes. Bug fix means some errors in the previous version, and the database structure changes when a new feature add. It also made changes in the database. We can also change the database structure. I will tell in detail what is database structure. Then we want to know the version number. We can click on the about Koha in Koha software. We can see there which version and which operating system and which database we install for Koha. And upgrade migration from very old version of Koha to the latest one is very tedious. And for example, a Koha installed 10 months, 10 years back, old version of Ubuntu, we can directly upgrade is not possible. We have to take the backup, mark file backup or database backup has to take, install a new version of Ubuntu, install a new version of Koha, then we have to restore the database. In certain cases, it does not work. Database change, table may change, database structure may change. Uh, cha- Upgrade from one old version to latest version take, it's very dangerous. First take, suppose if it fail, for example 3.22 version 2000, I think 5 or 6 years back it released. We have to take the book details in mark format. We have to take the, suppose it's running, take the users details in Excel sheet. We can take the transaction details in Excel sheet, and we can import it in the latest machine one by one. How to request a help from the Koha community. Suppose we got a problem. Already they have problems they have resolved, and the solutions available in the discussion forums. Just to make a search in Google, you will get the answer. Otherwise, you can put the query the discussion forums. First, we have to mention the message which version of Ubuntu using, which version of Koha using, and which version of MariaDB using, and then you can write in detail in simple words what happened to you. And you can also take some log. Log means the history of the transactions going on the machines store there. If you check the log, what the problem happened there, also copy the log into the message. Others can read it and identify your problem and tell you a solution. Lot of helpful resources available. Koha homepage is available, where we can find tons of information. There we can, another good resourceful thing is Koha community newsletter, where tips and tricks available, then release notes available. When a new version available, we can read what are the new changes available with the latest version. Then Koha DB schema, I will introduce you. Koha Facebook groups available. that is called Koha users. You can join there. Koha blogs available. Then we need a good homework for Koha implementation. The reason is that Koha is a new thing for us. We need good homework because we have to first, if we want to manage alone, we have to be master in Linux. Then only we can install it. Uh, so we good homework is needed, and libraries need good technical support to maintain Koha. Suppose you are not able to do it, you can approach a premium support provider. We have to pay them, and users need more commitment, and we have to go through these changes. Suppose others has some problem, you can help them. And learning and sharing culture is very necessary. And see, we have to keep in touch with the changes. We have to know about the changes going on there, otherwise very difficult to manage these things. These are the things I covered today. Tomorrow I will teach you how to install Koha, what are the steps involved in the installation of Koha, and then how to connect, how to buy a domain website name for Koha, and how to connect with the existing virtual machine. For example, yesterday I bought a domain name kohails.online and create a subdomain for staff.kohails.online, and made it secure site. Secure site means, and there is a lock screen, made our website secure. Otherwise, it will not load in the browser. Unsecure sites will not load in the browser. We can how to make it secure. These things I will teach you tomorrow. Then one more, two interfaces available: opac.kohails.online. See how to prepare, add this, by these domains, how to add it to Koha installation, how to make this SSL secure. These things we will learn tomorrow. Any doubts regarding today's class, please feel free to ask. Okay, today we can conclude. I have shared two documents. One is Ubuntu beginner manual, that is good for read for beginners. You will get an idea how to apply basic commands. Second one is a Koha book. That's a beginner's manual. You can just go through it. You will get an idea. Many things we have discussed today available in the same manual. If possible, take a printout and read the both manual.
Okay, sir. I think
Okay, sir. Yeah.
there is a no. I think that there is a no query.
Okay.
है ना? So please share the once again manual. Oh, once again manual. Okay, the manual will be shared on WhatsApp group, sir. Sir, sir, you are mute, sir. You are mute, sir.
I will share this PPT also. Again, share the manual. Okay.
Manual on WhatsApp group. Now you can check in WhatsApp group.
Oh,
There
share
will
it in
be
the
a
WhatsApp.
manual.
Share it in the WhatsApp.
Share in the WhatsApp.
Okay.
Okay, I think there is no any doubts. So we will see you tomorrow. Okay, bye. Bye. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the wonderful knowledge for us. Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Thank you,
Bye.
sir.
Okay, thank you very much.